There we go. I'm gonna see. Tried to start Microsoft Flight Simulator and I might have crashed. 24. We'll have to see if it launches this time. It was playing earlier today. I think we hopefully will be okay getting Microsoft 24 going. Anyway, whatever happens, happens. Who knows? Maybe the stream will just be me tap dancing and drinking Diet Coke today, which would probably be just about average, frankly, from what I like to put together. It's Sunday. We're still kind of in the middle of a streaming bonanza. Yeah, let me try continue here. I'm getting the continue message and see if it continues past this thing. But if not, we'll start in safe mode. Safe mode is kind of bad. If I start in safe mode, what I found out is that it resets all of your streamed items to disabled. And I have dozens and dozens of things enabled and quite a few things not enabled. It's a real bad thing. We'll see if it happens again. You guys can see what's going on here. I'm trying to launch it. Notice it says activating packages. This is starting up. It's probably going to get to about 50% and then crash to desktop. 99% chance here. I've seen this before. Oof. But it did work earlier today. It'll get to here. And it's about to crash to desktop. I think 99% chance right about here. If it gets past here, we should be okay. We might be okay. We'll see. Yeah, when it crashed, it was at 50%. But we'll see. I don't know why. That's the first time I've seen it crash without having to go into safe mode. So let's see what we got here. Anyway, welcome to the stream. Okay, that seems to work. Let's look at the marketplace. I just want to see if my stuff has been reset here in my library. Streamed. Let's make sure stuff is still here. Yeah, stuff is still okay. It's all good. All right, welcome to today's stream. I'm just getting started out here. I was a little nervous to see if we can get into the simulator today. It's just going to be a pretty much normal stream around here. That means roughly an hour or so of me playing Microsoft Flight Simulator. Got some interesting content planned today. We'll have to see how that goes for the flight simulation. Lots of stuff to talk about and to simulate today. I think it could be interesting. It might, one of these more scientific, research-oriented streams, because we'll be recreating Air India, the recent Air India Flight 171 crash in Ahmedabad. And we're going to kind of see how that goes. I mean, we're kind of see how the simulation works in the various situations that we can throw at it. And all we're going to do is we're going to start at the end of the runway, we're going to take off, and then we're going to see how that went. Because that whole flight only lasted 30 seconds or so. Man, that's a rough one. And I want to make sure that everyone knows that I'm doing this for content, but there were real people involved, real families involved, a huge tragedy. I'm certainly not trying to make light of it. We're all trying to just understand what happened based on what limited information there is, because the black boxes haven't been analyzed yet, and I think those will give us a huge indication of assuming that there's any information on them, and there should be. So let's move on. Okay, and that second half of the show today is keyboard day, is, I believe, piano day. So we'll have to see how that goes. Between that, we'll probably have some big brain games, the brain teaser games. I'm looking forward to that, some trivia games and quirls. And in between then, we should be saying this. I already have a nice fizzy glass of Diet Coke from a freshly poured can. Well, that's good stuff, too. We got the beautiful blue Bluetooth controller right here. And, yeah, let's get to it because we have plenty of content to do. All right, so let's go back here. We're going to talk a little bit about this situation here. First thing to do is to pick the plane. Let's look at the Boeing 787 Dreamliner. Very modern plane, obviously. The most recent, high-tech Boeing plane, very safe. It's, all that stuff is there. We can choose a livery. Other variants, I think it's only the one variant. Okay, passenger, KLM, Korea Airlines. I mean, none of these would be plain white. We're just going to use the house livery just because, we don't have Air India, which is fine. And for now, I am going to note that the fuel is at half. And The maximum takeoff weight is 557,000 pounds, but we're only at 450 for this first test. We're going to be reassetting this because the actual flight of Flight 71 was full and it was loaded with fuel, and it's believed to have been right at the maximum takeoff weight of 557 pounds. But for the first one we're going to do, let's just leave it as a lightly or like maybe, you know, not a full flight, not super heavy. Well, Ahmedabad is right here. It's one of the biggest cities in India. Let's take a look at some things about it. One thing you're going to want to notice, can't really notice if I zoom in real close here, is that here's the airport. And then right at the end of the airport, you were taking off on 27R, which is, you can see here, is all the way back here. Sorry, 23R. 23, it's not an R left. 23. We're going to be taking off. That's the way the flight took off. You come out here, and then the city of Ahmedabad is like right here underneath the airport. That's where the city is. Here's the airport. So you fly right over the city as you leave. Very populated area, and also I imagine there's a lot of jet noise in the city of Ahmedabad, which is the biggest city of Gurajan or whatever the province it is. I'm sure it has millions and millions of people. We're not going to really fly around the city. Okay, so we're going to go to Ahmedabad, set its departure. It'll put us on runway 23R. We're not cold starting or anything like that. We're just going to do this, and we're going to do this a whole bunch of times. I am going to be changing the flight conditions to be few clouds and earlier in the day. Because I think it was a daytime flight. Hey, Charles. Hi, good to see you. I'm great. I'm awesome. Okay, so we're at Ahmedabad. It's earlier in the day. We're simulating the flight of the very short flight of flight into Flight 171 last week. Let's see. I've got this set up here. This one is just a test to see how easy it is to normally take off in this area, even in a big plane. And safe. We're going to do a nice safe takeoff. Here's our 787. Again, it's not fully loaded, but it's got a big, we've got about half passengers are in there. And for the next things, we're going to start. I want to show that it's when you are fully loaded, it noticeably struggles to get off the ground. We'll find out. Let's try it.
Cleared for takeoff runway 23, KENSH 9er.
All right, so we're idling the engines. The engines are running. There we go. Okay, the engines are into takeoff configuration. All right, I just want to make sure our flaps are good. They're at 15%. Trim is good. All the engines are running fine. It's kind of jerky, but that's fine. Oof. It's real jerky. Give it a second to catch up. All right. So do we need this up? No. Okay, so we're clear to take off. We're gonna establish a standard flight. Here's what it looks like from the cockpit. We're going to take off. There's a person over there. There's the throttles. And what I want you guys to notice is below the throttle, right below the throttles are two switches. They're called fuel control. There's a left and a right. And there are two positions, run and cut off. Okay. We'll talk about that later. All right, let's fly. We're got power to max. Parking brakes are released. That's a caution for the parking brakes. Full power is being commanded. We're at 44 knots. 140 is VOR, meaning rotation speed. At 140, we will rotate the handlebar. We're going to attempt to achieve a 9-degree takeoff angle. It's covering up my thing here. What's our speed? 110, 120, 130. We're about to hit 140. 140 is reached. Okay, we rotate and we get our. Now we're off the ground. We've achieved positive angle, and we're still going up. So the next thing to do is positive rate, gear up. Gear up is now coming up. Gear is now coming up. You see down here, the gears is coming up. The doors are open. Then the doors are going to close. The gear doors. There they go. And now flaps. You can bring your flaps up. We're at flaps 15. We're going to go to flap 0. We're not going to go too much farther in this flight. This is a typical flight. You can see where the airport is. Nothing bad happened. We're not that close to the ground here, but this is Ahmedabad. You can see this. It's a big city. And, we have to fly over it at fairly low altitude. All right, that's number one. We're going to do this about 10 times. So first of all, I want to see if I restart what happens here. Because earlier, whenever I restarted, it was cutting my engines. But anyway, I'm just trying to figure out how most efficiently to redo these experiments. Because the next one we're going to do is the same thing. 2 engines are working, but at the limit of weight, which we can change.
Straight out departure.
Okay, so the engines are running. Very good. Oh, good. That's great. Okay, engines are running, but I'm going to change the weight because the default weight of the aircraft is very light. That makes it easy. To take off. Okay, there's no plane there. No worries. Okay, flight performances, mass and balance. So you can see we're going to treat this like it was. It was a full flight. Let's call it 95% full. And fuel was also needed almost to be full to get to London. It's a very long flight. Let's call it 97% full. So now we can see down here, okay, we're way overweight. I'm actually going to reduce our cargo, though. We wouldn't be carrying a lot of cargo. But I'm just trying to get us so that we're right around maximum weight. And I'm looking at the lower right where it says here 546,000 pounds, 557 is, so we want to be a little more right there, right? 550. Okay, that's really close. That's really close to maximum takeoff weight. So now I say load in aircraft, and now it has successfully simulated the additional weight of the plane. So now we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to take off roll. We're going to build up power to that. Once it hits 80%, we release the parking brakes. This is going to be a slower roll. And once again, we're looking for 140 knots for rotation, but because of the extra of the weight of the plane, it's taking us. We're going to need a lot more runway to get to that 140 than we did. And once we do rotate to the 9 degrees angle of attack, it's going to take a while for the plane to get enough goomph to get off the ground. You can see 20. It's real framey. I'm losing frames. It's fine. Okay, 120, 130, 140. Okay, rotate. So you rotate, but the plane does not left the ground yet. I'm just waiting for it to leave the ground. There it goes. Okay, now it's flying. So positive rate of climb achieved. Gear up. Gear up. But you can see we're not really getting a lot of altitude there. Oof. Okay, gear's coming up though. I mean, the simulation is working. Okay, now you'd have flaps up as well. So we're having a beautiful, we can climb even a little further. We have achieved, you can see it's quite a bit closer to the end of the runway. But had no real problem. No real problem. I mean, that's a normal takeoff with 2 engines going. Like it should be. It should be a very safe thing. We can start reducing power. By the way, I believe the normal takeoff here is probably requires reduced power because you're flying over a very populated area. Once you take off and you've got the gear up and the flaps up, you're supposed to reduce power until you get to a certain area. We've got some cool stuff we should investigate over there at some point. All right, that's number 1. Or that's number 2. We're going to do a restart here. Had no problems. This time, guess what we're going to do? We're going to simulate a single engine failure. What happened with the plane is we know both engines were running until after it got off the ground, or after at least they had to commit to getting off the ground. I believe that right after when you hear me say positive rate, meaning the plane's off the ground, and before the captain responds with gear up, there was a full engine failure, which we're going to simulate. Remember, I showed you those switches. All right, first of all, unfortunately, we have to go through the loading again. So we're going to load up our plane again. With fuel. And, okay, what's that? That's a little too much. We got to reduce cargo to compensate. Okay, right around there. Load the aircraft. Now we're at basically full maximum takeoff weight. Okay. Engines are running well. So how are we going to simulate an engine? Boy, it really causes a lot of framiness, I could tell in my thing. That's fine. This plane is a resource monster. All right, how we're going to simulate the left engine failure is after we get off the ground and right before I would normally click the gear, which is here, I'm going to flick the fuel control, which is currently open, to close. That shuts the engine down. You'll see the effect of that right away, but let's see if we can manage that. There might not. We're going to see, the question is, with this heavy load, can you take off with one engine that fails right at that time, right before the gear would come up normally? And would that cause you to, and that might cause you to panic and not bring the gear up. Okay, we're at 78. We're at 90. 140 is rotation. We're a heavy plane, but we got a long runway, so it shouldn't be a problem. We're definitely going to be able to achieve rotation speed. There's 140, so you can see the plane rotates, but it's heavy. You can't rotate more than that, or you'll tail strike. But it comes off the ground. And right here, let's go in here. It's going to be a little, right here, when you normally say positive rate, we're going to shut off the left engine. And you're going to see, if you look at my gear there, the one thing you're going to notice right away is that the plane yaws to the left. Now, the correct thing to do is to, and also it's stalling there, is to try to raise the gear anyway. It's about to stall, but if I get the gear up quickly enough, I only got one engine going. So I'm getting don't stink and a stall warning, which usually means you're screwed. But I'm going to try to make it over. I'm at 160. I've got the gear up. Notice that I've only got one engine going here. It's at full, my right engine. And the yaw damper has automatically moved my rudder a long ways to prevent the plane from yawing a lot. I'm getting a bunch of warnings saying I'm about to stall. But I didn't die. We're not dead. And the reason why is because there's still one engine going. Oh, you got your flights from Monday to Tuesday. Nice. Okay, now we just stalled out. So, okay, we just stalled and we just died. It took a while, but with one engine going, it's very hard to get this plane off the ground. And that's why a lot of people are talking about dual engine failure caused this plane. I'll show you what let's look what dual engine failure looks like with a heavy load right at that time. I'm just going to hit both those switches. Dual engine failure is extremely unlikely. I mean, I was listening to some pilots talking about it. There's no reason for two engines to fail. There's really no reason for one engine to fail at that time. It could happen. I'm reading YouTube. I see you. There you are. I'm not reading shit. I'm really interested in what I'm doing.
Ready for departing straight out at runway 23.
But yeah, no, I'm not. I don't know if we'll do some skibbity toilet. I'm kind of waiting for the next episode, part of 79 part 2. Or maybe we'll do some. Okay, we're gonna go ready to fly. Okay, engines are. Are engines doing anything? Yeah, now my engines are wanting to die, right? That's fine. I don't know what's going on. All right, we'll go back to here. In flight. It's getting too jammed up anyway. The what ifs, yeah, I don't think I'm going to go down the what if thing. Again, if I do anything, it's going to be watching the early episodes again, because I was liking, you know. Yeah, I'm sure there's a huge fan area. All right, so we can make ourselves heavier, I think, right from here. So we're gonna go. Seats are 95% full. Fuel is like 80-something% fuel, right? No, that's even too much. 557. Okay, that's 558. All right, that represents maximum takeoff weight. We're gonna load that in the aircraft. We're gonna go back earlier in the day. Very good. All right. So for this one, yeah, well, who knows? We'll see. For this one, this test I want to do, people were saying that it was a dual engine failure, which of course is both really unlikely and nobody knows how that could occur. But again, we'll find out the thing. But what would a dual engine failure look like right after takeoff? We're going to find out, because what I'm going to do is right after takeoff, but before, we know it was before the gear came up. I'm going to hit both those switches. I don't think the plane's going to even go as far as, we'll find out. This one may be more accurate. The plane did not go very far. It didn't go as far as on the one. I mean, the one engine, it still crashed eventually. We might have been able to get out of it with one engine, but not with the gear down. We were only the only reason we even survived that long with one engine down is because we were able to get the gear up. What are you asking me about? All right, we're all listening to the wind. Okay. All right. So we're heavy. I want to double check the engines are running. We're going to check. Okay, we're 90% full. We're at maximum takeoff weight. Okay, a little or almost at maximum takeoff weight because we're burning fuel. Okay, engines to full. Engines to full. But again, this we're going to simulate a dual engine failure. Yeah, well, I'm driving, so thank goodness I don't have to get flights to TwitchCon. But you know how it is. I want to bring my piano and guitar with me. All right. Those don't fit on the plane. But no, you want to fly, even though, you know. All right, so let's see. What we're at 100, 106, 120, 130. Yeah, straight out approved. Okay. 140 is rotation. We're off the ground. Rather than put gear in, I'm going to fail both engines. Boom and boom. Now there is a retard procedure. You immediately. Oh gosh, we're getting so framey. This is useless. Yeah, resource usage exceeds GPU memory capacity, but we're already going to fall. You know, the pilot's saying thrust not achieved. But yeah, we barely make it. With two engines gone, you're barely going to make it. Even though we got off the ground, you're barely going to make it. Excuse me. You're barely going to make it off. Okay, hold on a second here. Oops. If we do a restart, will it put us back there? Let's find out. Yeah. No, and you know, we'll make use of my car probably. I don't know if Mistress Mort has been talking about not coming to TwitchCon, by the way. Just, you know, I mean, I don't know. She, you know, he's trying to say, you know, oh, it's too dangerous or something. There's some, I don't know. We'll see, you know, but I don't, you can't count on anybody. But, it'll, you know, all I can count on is it'll be a good time. And you'll be, Charles will be there. That's good. I didn't count on Charles. I pretty much do. Which is why, you know, it's good. All right, let's see if we can get another flight in here. I don't know what we want to simulate. I kind of want to see if you're at a normal amount of, boy, this is so framey when this thing is, my computer is pumping hard. It's this plane sucks up all the resources. We're going to do a different plane in a different area. You'll see it's not framey at all. That's why I hate this plane. All right, are the engines working? Engines are not working. Come on. All right, I'm actually done with it. I'm not done with it. Let's do one more. All right, but boy, shouldn't be that framey. Let's give it a second to restart the engines. By the way, the engines, I was talking about the engines, and if the engines do fail, this was also something I was just listening to Charles, these two pilots talking about, two professional pilots talking about this situation. If the engines do fail, they will automatically restart. But the automatic restart sequence doesn't start until the engine is at idle. Meaning, if the engines are running and then they fail, the automatic restart procedure doesn't start until they completely spin down. And so it's known that jet engines can't restart quickly. Is this one even going to go anywhere? Hello? Give me a second here. It's restarting there. Man, I'm getting about 4 frames per second here. At most. Yeah, it's just got to be my GPU. Actually, my GPU is at 100%. So it is maxing out my GPU just to load this. Clear to land runway 2 tree. Number 2 Oof. 71 tree. And I guess Ahmedabad is a fairly complex region. So it's also the airport, which is kind of it's struggling to load the wings. All right, it's restarting the engines. Give it another 30 seconds. We'll do one here. You know, I don't know if we've ever flown around Ahmedabad before. All right, so for this one, what was I going to say? We're going to start. We're going to start with a heavy load and one engine failure, but we're going to put the gear up right away, right when the engine fails. and I want to see if I can. It's gonna be a near thing, and I get a little bit more off the ground. Okay, here we go. There we go. Now they're moving. All right, we're gonna go. Ready to go? Full power. Not gonna waste our time. It's full power. We're heavily loaded. We got a full load of passengers back there. There's no wind. Rotation is 140. And after we get off the ground, right after when I put the gear up, I'm gonna kill one of the engines, which is gonna make it very hard to fly. But people are saying, well, if one engine goes down, it should yaw. And it does, but there's also a yaw damper. My yaw dampers are on, so it shouldn't yaw too much. Okay, 140. Okay, now we're flying. Flying, positive rate achieved. Gear up. Failed an engine. There's the engine failing. But we're also going to raise the gear. And then we're going to lower the nose. The framing just makes this almost impossible. Wow. I was going to hope this would... I hope my computer would be better at this kind of thing. Okay, I'm getting a stall warning. We're at 170, right? That should be enough. All right, so we have one good working thing. I'm also going to bring the flaps up, but we can barely get over these buildings, which is fine. We're at 188. As long as we don't start going down. All right, you'll see if you look at my engine number 2 is working, and my engine number 1 is not working. But I got the gear up soon enough that we could establish a positive rate of climb. And I said I don't want it to go below there, but I can get to 1,000 feet per second, basically. Oh, maybe not quite that. Oh, what is it doing? Why is it stalling? Why did it suddenly stall at a fairly high speed? I kind of want to figure that out. That's the same thing that happened before. Okay, I kind of want to try it one more time. That experiment, except why did it? I mean, it looked like I was going to be able to get out of that, and just if I was patient enough. And then suddenly my airspeed went down, my nose went up, and I stalled. But it may have been me not flying very well. Let's find out.
A Metabot tower.
Okay.
KENSH 90909
Let's see
ready
if
at
the
runway
engine's
2
going to
tree.
start.
Departing straight out.
Hello. All right. Let's restart from here. Here we go. Metabot, runway 23. EFB. We're going to bring us back to there. It's kind of tedious, but it's the only way it's going to work. Okay, we go to almost full. There we go. Load aircraft. Start. Oh, yeah. It's earlier in the day. Start flight. All right. Last one. Then we're going to do another set of flights, though. But the other set of flights I have planned are so different from this and so less. They're designed to de-stress from what this is basically very stressful because we're either crashing or almost crashing every time. That's fun. But it's for science, in a sense. Or for, research purposes. All right. So for this one.
Ready for straight out departure at runway 2 tree.
Engines starting. There they go. All right, engines are starting up. We got our full load. Right when we get off the runway there, we're going to kill one engine, but we're going to bring up the gear, and then kill the engine this time. I think that'll give us what we need. I mean, Taylor Javot? I don't know. There's a lot of people, especially streamers, who say that they're not going to go to TwitchCon, even me, and then at the last minute they're like, "Yeah, I'm going to go to TwitchCon. I don't want to." It's a FOMO. It's a fear of being left out. All right, we're 127. Still framing is all hell. Okay, we're about at 140. Okay, 140. Rotate. So the front of the engine is off, but we are still on the ground. Okay, still on the ground. Okay, positive rate achieved. Gear up. Kill an engine. Okay, gear up. Let the gear come up a bit. Kill the left engine. You can see on the left there. It pretty much instantly stops producing power. So we're basically just gonna try to gaze. We're getting stall warnings. We're gonna try to graze the tops of these buildings. But as long as we're gaining speed, even with the one engine, my theory is we should be able to do this all day. But for some reason, after doing this for a while, it seems to want to stall out. But the issue is you can't raise your nose anymore in this. Or even raising a little, and I have full power to one engine and no power to another engine. But one thing is that as long as you keep yourself from being off the ground, is you could potentially be restarting the left engine. Now I've got mine in cutoff, so the left engine will not at all. Boy, it's really framing. Oof. This is the lowest frame rates we've achieved so far in my streaming career. Yeah, I don't know if that's true. I think Leah's probably gonna want to go. I know Mimi's gonna go, but Mimi's not gonna stay with us. Just hotel room, but out there.
Did you copy?
Ahmedabad Tower, KNSH 9er, frequency change.
SpiceJet 16, contact ground on 121.67. Mentari 212, contact ground on 121.675.
Keeps the too much. Way too much. See what happens there? Because I let the nose come way too high. All right. Anyway, this is bugging me because it's such terrible frame rate. I'm not done though. I wanted to do a nice high frame rate. Well, I think she'll keep her hotel room. Maybe she can say it depends on who's there. There might be some people we invite at the last minute. I don't know. Okay. That's just stressing me out. And as you guys know, I really enjoy it for very many reasons. That Dreamliner is known to be a resource heavy plane, but man, that's crazy. All right, the next flight is going to be a much more recreational flight. We're gonna fly, and we'll have a completely different vibe to it. We're not researching anything. We're getting into my Magni gyrocopter for one thing. Where is it? Which is always a fun vibe. You know me. Where's my Magni? It's in here somewhere. Got too many planes. And we're gonna go to Bora Bora. So come on, it's gonna be a nice exotic, place, location, Southeast Asia. I don't know. I just had the urge. Where is my Magni? Is it? It got deleted somehow? All right, let me look for it. I think I just overlooked it. Yeah, it's right there. All right. Configure. We flew Leipzig. Oh no, we had. Did we not do Leipzig yet? We'll do Leipzig. We'll do Leipzig right now if you're here. Absolutely. We'll do Bora Bora next time.
I'm not sure how to help
computer cancel. Oh shit, Alexa, man. All right, she's obsessed. Absolutely Leipzig if you're here. Let's see. Pearl Beige is actually one of my favorite. I kind of thought we did it, but thanks you for reminding me because yeah, I was thinking we should do Leipzig if you're here. Pearl Beige, it actually looks really good in person. The Magni gyrocopter it's a vibe. It's fun. Um, and it's great for sightseeing because you don't go very high up there, and it's slow, you know, and because it's slow, it doesn't present a huge. Let's see if we just search for University Hospital. This though, I think, is the airport. Um, well, that's a big airport. But where's the city? Kind of want to know that in advance. It may not be. We'll find it. All right. Set as departure, but as you guys know, night flights are not much of a vibe for me. I like the afternoon flights are good because you get a lot of shadowing. It looks really pretty. It makes it a lot easier to find things. I might have to adjust the flight conditions because I think I turned off. First of all, I don't know for sure where we are, so I'm gonna go to my maps, my Google Maps on my other thing here, and see if I can find where I am. It's like to kind of know, major areas. Let's see, Germany. Okay, where's the airport compared to? Yeah, I should be able to figure it out.
Leipzig Tower, KENSH 9er at runway 26 left, ready for departure.
All right, we're in our beautiful little Magni gyro. Let's take a look at it. The thing I love about it is it looks like, I've talked about this every time. It looks like a helicopter. It's not a helicopter. It has a rotor, but it's not powered. The rotor is unpowered and just operates by getting air under it, causing it to spin, but then it also provides lift. It's kind of magical in a sense, but it absolutely works. Very simple drivetrain, very simple and lightweight system. Basically, we get going a ways, we make sure our rotor brake is off. So we turn off the rotor brake. We get forward power going here. We turn off the parking brake. And as soon as we get a little bit of power, that thing just magically starts spinning. See, there goes boop, boop, boop. And then we get an RPM meter that's there. When it gets to 200, we can rotate off the ground. And it takes off real easy. Everything about it flies real easy. All right, where are we again exactly? Flight planner. I hope we're somewhere near where we want to be. Yeah, I think we want to go this way, northeast. All right, yeah, so I wanted to check the weather. I think I have the non-live weather set here. Let's set live weather and see what it's like. Apparently, I bet it's a nice day. Okay, there you go. Okay, live weather just came in. High clouds, nothing major. It's established a nice low speed. Okay, where are we going though? I'll figure it out in a second. Give me 1 second here. Trim is very sensitive. Okay. All right, so there's the airport. Give me 1 second here. Okay, no, the airport is to the north of where we are, and then we want to go southeast. Figured it out. Thanks. So that's northeast, so we're going to make a turn this way. It'll take a while to get from the airport, this airport. In fact, we may cheat it a little bit. It's not that far. There'll be a little countryside, and then we're going to hit the city, which is now you can see it up ahead. And it's that direction. Sure. We might slew it a bit so we don't have to go through so much This is what it looks like from in here. It's got a great view. You got this. This is, by the way, you can see the construction of the cockpit and that, and you might say, is that carbon fiber? It really isn't carbon fiber. It's a lighter material called high density foam or structural foam, depending on how you call it. It's very good for making very lightweight planes. A very, aircraft. Is it really safe in a crash? Probably not. Don't crash. All right, but we're going to check out Leipzig today. We're still flying over the airport. It's a big airport. You can look at the airport here. That's the airport. Covers a lot of ground. Big flat area. There's that. There's two terminals. I think there's that terminal and kind of, I don't know. That's probably the terminal. So yeah, about a 10-minute flight, maybe 15 to Leipzig. We're going to check it out. One thing I really enjoy about doing in the Magni is practicing point landings because of the way it lands. You can't land it like a helicopter. The rotor is not powered, so you can't hover and then land on a spot, or hover and then effectively ground taxi at 6 feet up. But on the other hand, you can effectively auto gyro, store a lot of energy in the rotors, and then land and potentially land very soft in a very short period of time, like just land like a feather, like in like 20 or 30 feet. There's some kind of factory downtown here. I wonder if they make peaches here. I've heard that peaches come from a man. They're made by they're put in a can by a man in a factory downtown. So maybe it's this one. I don't know. I eat peaches every day. All right, this is a beautiful farm. I love this road with the trees. This is gorgeous. I'm liking the terrain. Oh, watch for wires. Anytime you see towers, always watch for wires. They're deadly to low-flying aircraft, by the way. This is cool. I like this red building here. It has trucks backed up. It looks like it could be like, some kind of distribution, farm equipment distributors. I don't know. Oh, check this out over here. I'm already seeing one of the coolest things that you won't see in India or really anywhere but Europe, which is a huge amount of, really interesting looking, I was going to say architecture, but this is just those are just, cargo thing. Those are just Maersk line cargo containers, freight containers stacked up. But sometimes you don't see them. And, oh yeah, more here. Here's a train yard with choo-choo freight trains. Pretty cool. That's the great thing about flying in general, is this, you don't have to, you're going to see stuff that you don't see when you're driving on the ground. Lots more freight trains getting loaded. That is really cool. There's like I think that's when okay, hold on, sorry. Everyone get out of the plane. I want to see what this is. I think this is a former rail house, or engine house, because you can see there is a the turntable for engines there, and you can see it's ruined. It's completely ruined. But that's what an engine house looks like. It's always kind of a circular or semicircular design. They don't really need them anymore for like they used to for the diesels. The diesel electric engines don't need that kind of thing as much. But it's interesting that they've got a derelict rail house, or engine house. It absolutely will be fun. I'm definitely excited. I mean, it's still 5 months away. What is it? It's in October. We're in June. July, August, September, October. I guess 4 months. All right. That's nothing. All right. There's some more buildings down there. It's like a hangar or some kind, perhaps. The detail is great at this level. We'll get a little bit lower. It's going to start looking hokey. A little bit higher, and you won't see all the cool details. So this is the perfect. But we are approaching the city of Leipzig. Again, the rotor's not powered, but it's providing all the lift. The engine is in the back there. It's a Rotax 4-cylinder, horizontally opposed, water-cooled, oil-cooled engine. You can see all sorts of cool details, like the two radiators at the bottom. with a fan going. One is a water radiator and one is an oil radiator. So there's two separate radiator systems, exhaust system. There's lots of cool details on the engine. All right, we're heading to. I don't know if I don't know if we've flown over downtown Leipzig. So this is. It's going to be nice, but I can see, you know, again, all the attention given to European cities to make the terrain and the building look good is not wasted on us. We're going to have a good look at everything. Hopefully we'll see a nice church and cathedral. So I'm pretty sure it's on the river. Where's the river? It's on the Flugpit? I can't pronounce the name of that. Okay, but Leipzig is to the it's to the east of this river. Okay, I'm just kidding. There's the Red Bull Arena. We should be seeing some of this stuff coming up here. Where's the Red Bull Arena? Oh, I think it's right ahead of us. So the Red Bull Arena is so called because on a daily basis you can go and they have bulls, actual live bulls that they've spray painted red, that just go at it with each other. I think. I'm pretty sure that's why it's called Red Bull Arena. I may be. Some of those details might be slightly off. But I mean, come on. Why else would it be called the Red Bull Arena? You know, if I went there, got tickets, and there weren't spray painted bulls fighting each other, I'd be like, money back, time. Money back. I think this is the Red Bull Arena. But I don't know. If it says Red Bull Arena over there, then maybe it is the Red Bull Arena. I don't know. It's probably not the Red Bull Arena, now that I think about it. All right. I didn't see any Red Bulls. It's not the Red Bull Arena. All right. Coming up on Leipzig. This is the University of... I don't know. I can find out for you. Okay. Red Bull Arena. After that is what? Okay. In English. It is a university, but I can't read it. I don't speak German. Pretty campus, though. Yeah, look at that beautiful campus. It's a really cool looking university. It's probably very old, too. Probably gets a lot of old buildings. But we're going to head up there where it says there's something up there that we're going to check out. But meanwhile, let's see. Okay, so we're over the Institute of whatever it is. There's a bunch of schools here. And we're going to make we're heading southeast. And, okay. There's a bunch of museums. This is actually a very lovely place to visit. There's a lot of open park area. Actually, we want to be heading kind of this way, I think, right? Up there it says Leipzig University Hospital. So I think that's probably where the university campus is. That wasn't Leipzig University. Oh, there's a cool church over here. Let's stay a little bit lower. I want to get all these nice details in. And this is this classic architecture. European architecture. It is what it is. All right. So just because there's a helicopter landing pad doesn't mean we can land there. Although if I get good enough at landing, I bet I could come pretty close to landing on these landing pads. They're not that small. So there's one there, and then there's another here. So I suspect these buildings that are all around us are University of Leipzig. I don't know. It might just be the hospital. I know at UCLA, the hospital is its own separate thing. Now we have this big grassy area here. Is that the park? The big park there? There? I don't know what that is. This park here? I don't know. But anyway, I want to see what this is up ahead. This has got to be a great something. Is this the IKEA? No, it says Porta. Porta? I don't know. It looks like a big kind of shopping mall. And there should be like a tower. Oh, there's some buildings over there. One chair. This is the one I want to check out first. This is the one that we've been looming from the horizon. And I think this will definitely mean on the where I am. What does it say? It's the monument to the Battle of the Nations. Monument to the Battle of the Nations, right? Monument to the Battle of the Nations. Oh, let's check this out. This looks amazing. Wow. Monument to the Battle of the Nations. Great detailing with all the statues on there. I set to the time for you so we can check out our detail. Monument to this. Monument to the Battle of the Nations. All right, where is that? Because I need to know. It's not there. I'm just going to have to look this up. Monument to the Battle of the Nations. Oh, there it is. It's right there. Okay, that's where we are then. Cool. Okay. Yeah, and there's pictures of it and everything. 91 meters high. Memorial to the 1813 Battle of the Nations. Viewing platform and a history museum. Impressive. I like it. So yeah, so if you're going out to Leipzig, that's somewhere you're going. I'm thinking. All right, so then there's a Heart Center. There's more things to fly around and see. But now I know exactly where I am on the map. We'll do Bora Bora tomorrow, though. I really want to fly around Bora, and specifically in this plane. This one says Leipzig Heart Center. There's a lot of hospitals represented on these little areas here. Ooh, there's a little place we could land, maybe. I wonder. I want to try landing. Because landing and takeoffs require a special touch. You need to be, keeping track of your rotational speed, which is that thing that says 325, 326. That's how fast the rotor is going. Because you need to basically build up enough energy, but then know how much you have to spend, and effectively to get the plane to be losing energy on the ground. Yeah, here's another huge hospital, the Heart Center, cardiology, I imagine. But I want to check out this tower over here. Well, yeah, we should land in a nice flat field. Again, once you time it right and kind of get the, it's hard to say. You get the feel of it. You should be able to basically land almost like a helicopter on a point or on like 100 feet of flat ground or a parking lot. This is a nice, cool-looking tower here. It's very iconic. I've never seen one with this exact design before. Hello, people in the tower. I don't know if you can actually... you can probably... I'm sure you can go up there. But it looks like back there. I'm sure we can find out. I can find it on the map. All right, flying over Leipzig here. Yeah, okay. Let's land someplace for fun. And we'll take off again. But again, it's not like landing nearly any other plane. I mean, in some ways it's not like you deploy flaps or gear or anything like that. In some ways it is. You want to point, lose altitude, lose speed. Let's somewhere in this field, but I want to kind of know where I'm going to land in this field. Reduce power down as we go down. I'm building up rotational energy, 383, which means I can still pull up if I need to because I got plenty of energy left in the rotors. Then I come over here. So I can, because I want to lose energy from the rotors, but I don't want to be, stuck in the air. Okay, 255. See, now it wants to. So I should be able to. Ooh, that's a little hard. Now that's a little hard. That was too hard. Okay, it's fine. And what happens if you start to get too hard? You can get more forward speed, and that should build up speed in the thing. But anyway, we should be able to take off from here too. 160, 170. Once we get to 200, we should be able to fly. Here we go. And again, full power of our rear engine there. It's all we need to get quite a decent level of climb rate. Vertical speed, no problem. Vertical speed, easily should be able to achieve 1,000 feet per minute with full power, which we can. All right, so where's that tower that we were just at? It's that one there. There's another tower over here we're going to check out. I like European towers. We already saw the memorial. It's really quite a model, though. We could probably land in the pond, the reflecting pond. Less power. That's what it looks like from here. You get a really nice view. I don't know why. It works really nice, but That's what it looks like. Very, very cool monument to the 1812. So that battle was the same battle that also led to the William Tell Overture, I guess, right? Or no, or the Eroica. There's a bunch of music, classical music symphonies written about the Battle of 1812, aren't there? I have to look that up. I'm sure Grok knows. All right, there's a bunch of houses and stuff down here. Some of them have swimming pools. We got a radio tower, and then I want to just see if that is a stack or a tower or what. Let's see. We'll find out in a second. Oh yeah, and I want to check out those two buildings over there. Those kind of dome buildings. They're not very tall. You got a red tower. That's definitely a broadcasting tower. This over here is looking like a smokestack, but I'm not sure. I don't know now. It's not. There's no factory associated with it, is there? Oh, no. You can definitely see those red and white checks usually indicate that it's... Boy, it's hard to say what that's for. I don't know. Okay, St. Elizabeth Hospital over there. Most of the hospitals... Oh, I just want to check out all these buildings here. Oh, right. That, over here this way. Very, 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 very easy to fly around. Point and shoot kind of airplane. Not much that can go wrong with it, too. Very simple drivetrain. The only thing bad that can really happen on you is running out of fuel, but we got plenty of fuel. And again, even if the engine fails, like a helicopter, you could, if you know what you're doing, certainly, and you should be trained to, you can auto-rotate and have a nice general, probably have a general landing. You may have to find a bigger space. So this is a really cool building down here. By the way, it even has, like, graffiti on it, you know. They've got the graffiti models in the game. Clean up your act. Like, say, come on. Visitors are coming into town. I don't know if those are building or storage tanks of some kind. Okay, we go here. Alright, so we're flying back over the University Hospital, and okay, the river is that way. I kind of want to check out this direction a bit. I don't know if we saw this building up here. Flying over Leipzig. I'm sure once I get better at flying this, I will be able to land on these little landing pads. But I'm quite sure I'm not ready quite to do that. Which is why we're going to practice a couple more takeoffs and landings. And I can find a nice, flat, empty area. This is a very cool kind of set of buildings here. All of them very unique and interesting looking with those curvy bits. Curvies. Construction occurring there. Right? Might be finished by now, we don't know. Okay, which way? Okay, we're going north. Is there a river over here? No, this is another big building. River's to the left. Cool looking, kind of cool building. This one here, this is a train station. You can always tell a European train station. I mean, they look, you know, really good from one side, and then it's just a bunch of big covered area, and then train tracks. So, yeah. This would be Leipzig's, I'm sure, the central train station. Right here. And then you get outside, those are probably bus transfer areas and things like that. That's what I'm thinking with the Leipzig train station, central train station looks like. Looks like there's kind of a bazaar there with tents, people selling food and stuff there. Always a lot of foot traffic in front of the train station. This is kind of an area that you're going to walk around in. Oh, what's this over here? Let's land in this field, but first I want to check out this building. And it makes these great chop chop sounds like it's a helicopter, but it's not. It's just a really cool kind of, I don't know how you describe the shape of this building here. It seems like a theater or a domed, oh, it's kind of triangular. It's three-cornered. Interesting. Theater or indoors playing field or indoor something here. And there's like some more cool buildings here. This is a very big park area here. So we're going to land in that field. It looks like nice and flat. By the way, cheers, Diet Coke. After this, I'm going to stop. We're going to play brain games. Then there's going to be a break. There's a lot more streaming to go. And then it's music day, and I'm going to bring my piano and set my piano down, and we're going to play piano. I'm going to play piano. I don't know what you guys are doing. Until I get bored, and that'll probably be about an hour in. All right, reduce power a little bit. I'm gonna turn around. Here's this little field I want to land in, so come in low over these trees. The last time I overestimated, or I underestimated how much forward rotor power I'm going to need. What are we at? Okay, we're at 380. That's a lot. I want to land like just kind of short of that little pond up there. 318, 316. So we're slowly losing rotor power. 334. I want to kind of lose a little bit more. Just come in. I want to try to land short of this pond, but we may not be able to figure that out. A little softer. And kind of where I wanted to land. I'm getting better. I mean, you guys think that's easy. You're welcome to try. You see where our little, how we, we landed, and then we went about, what, 50 feet, and then we braked. It's pretty amazing. You can set your rotor brake to off, and the rotor will turn off. We can get outside and have a little picnic here. Now, if you wanted to turn this plane around, you wouldn't need to, like, turn it around normally. It would, you could literally pick up the tail and turn it around. But this is really a cool little park area. Guess what? We're gonna fly around a little bit more. All right, so let's see. Parking brake on. Rotor brake off. Parking brake off. Right. Okay. Full power. Let's head out this way. It'll be a little bumpy here, but we'll be fine. Our rotor is building up speed. Oop, we probably hit kind of hard there. We're fine. Rotor's building up speed. What do we got? Rotor 325, plenty of lift. And we can easily establish a 1,000 or 500 feet per minute climb rate easily. It's just a really fun little plane. I can't get over it. Or, I don't know. It's gyro. It's not really a plane. Aircraft, but I don't know what plane. Okay, we're back over. Is this the Red Bull Arena again? I think it is. Right here. Maybe we'll fly around the river. I'm having a good time, and this is a good de-stress from the commercial flight accident recovery. I also noticed that there's no issue with framiness. It's 100% that Dreamliner I don't have the capacity for. Yeah, okay, so we're back at the Red Bull Arena, right? Yeah. Where the Bulls fight. The Red Bulls are... What I want to see is, on this river here, I see some bridges. I don't see any, like, tall bridges that we could go under, unfortunately. But I think it'd be fun to just kind of, like, fly along the river here. You don't want to get much over 500 on the rotor. There isn't kind of a maximum speed beyond which it's not safe to operate the rotors. 500 is fine. I think 600 is a problem. There's like a little dam, like locks here. It's kind of cool, I think. Right here. It's either a dam or... No, that could just be a bridge. Hard to tell. It could be locks. I don't know. This is very pretty, though, flying along the river here. What it looks like from here. Let's try to stay below tree line, which is all nice and safe, you know. Can't land in the water, though. Let's see some buildings over here we can see. Yeah, that roof and that architecture, I'm sure, is very Leipzig. Oh, which way do you want to go? Let's go this way. What's down here? Only one way to find out. But yeah, you can go anywhere. Yeah, now we're flying at a slightly low enough level that some of the terrain looks a little hokey. But yeah, hey man, if you could put floats on the bottom instead of wheels, you could land on the water too easily. Yeah, so now we're heading out kind of to the wilderness area. Kind of fun though. All right, let's see if there's anything around here. There's something up there. I mean, we're gonna land and then we're gonna do the brain games. Hey, if you enjoyed the flight flying around, tomorrow I want to take this plane around Bora Bora, and it's gonna be gorgeous. So if we can land up there, like a little flat area up there, that'll be it for today's flight simulator ring. Right up here. So I'm trying to get a nice soft landing rather than kind of, you know, where there's a, but you still want to flare out. But the issue when you flare out is that if you lose too much energy in the rotors, then you can fall from a very great height. If you flare out high up enough. We're gonna go over the river here, and that little curved area, this little field here, we're gonna land in, or you know, over this car bridge. All right, and I'm watching that number 285, 290 very carefully, because that shows the rotational speed of the rotors, and again, they're not powered. So the only thing that keeps them going is forward speed, forward momentum. And then when we pull up and lose forward momentum, that's when the rotors start losing energy. A little bit. That was a little hard. Too bad though. The bushels will be fine. It's just a really cool thing. All right. It just gets me going. All right. Rotor brake on. Let's see. Pumps and valves off. Everything off. Wait. Parking brake on. Not that off. Isn't there a master battery somewhere? There we go. Engine is off. Rotor brake is on. Right. Rotor brake is on. And we're parked. Really cool little plane. That was fun. Thank you for the suggestion. It's the Orion gyrocopter. And again, so the things that it says experimental. Planes that are experimental, you can't fly commercial. You have to have a private experimental license, addition to your private pilot's license, but which is easy to get. But for an experimental plane, they're very reliable. You can kind of see the intake on one side there, which I think is cool. Air intake. Although the air intake for the engine is that thing on the side that kind of sticks out, looks like a cone. That's the intake filter. But yeah, the detailing is great. I love the radiators and all the radiator plumbing for the water and the oil radiator and the fan that spins on the back of the thing. It's just all the details really get me going. All right, we'll move on to the brain games. Let me change category because we'll be just chatting about them. The brain games are technically just chatting. Let's see. Get the face cam. Let me get out of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Boy, that framiness when we were trying to do something, I'll have to look into why it was doing that. Because earlier in the day, that only happened when I'm streaming. Earlier in the day, I was kind of trying a similar thing to see if it would work, and I was kind of fine. But that, yeah, when I do something in Flight Simulator, it probably will be okay. All right. But you don't know. All right. So brain games are coming right up. I like to do these on a daily basis. But when I stream, I wait for stream. When I don't stream, I do them first thing in the morning. The brain games for me consist of a couple of these Quirtles, the revealed puzzle, the tightrope trivia quiz, 9 questions time trivia quiz, and then we do a couple of Octurtles. We're just going to do one Quirtle today. I use the same set of starting words every day. If you've ever watched me do these, which I've been doing them for months now. But even before I've done them on stream, I was doing them on a daily basis. Okay, so upper right thinks, well, you got 4 out of 5. It could be easy, but it could be craze or crave or a couple other things. But let's see up here. Let's try to find something that we think is more likely. This could be WREST, like W-rest, like that. Could that be that on there? Okay, yeah, it could be. All right, and then on the lower right, we have an O. We have all of the letters and only one way to make them fit into a word. And that word would be scion. All right, now in the upper right, we still don't know if it's crave or craze. Let's keep moving. Well, we'll have an extra guess. This one here is probably, let's see. It's probably PA something, right? And then something maybe ends in A too. It could be have two A's, right? It could be. Can't be parka. Oh, and there's an L. Can't be paddle. Pal. That's not a word. Oh, apparently it is a word. All right. But it wasn't pal. That's all right. We have some extra words to guess. All right. So now we know it ends in L and there's another A. So it's PA something AL. So it's papal. PAPAL. I always kind of, yeah, that's fine. We still don't know if it's crave or craze, but we do have two guesses. Let's guess crave first. It could be craze. See, it's always a 50-50, but we did get it today. We did get it. Craze. So we did. There's a bunch more quarrels to do, but I don't have a ton of time really. So I'm going to move along because I want to do more of these brain games. We're going to do the revealed, which is a really interesting game. How do you play is you get a clue. This is a person with one name, a one named person. And then you get this heavily redacted document. Okay, born, was a blank. Okay, this person, blank, born, blank, died August, blank, blank, was a blank of the blank dynasty, famous in blank and blank as the blank of blank, and later as the blank of blank. Blank became blank on the death of blank. Queen, king, death of blank, blank in blank, and rule. It's obviously a ruler with one with name. It's not Napoleon though. Army. Somebody with a. Yeah, it's not Napoleon because that's too many letters, right? Only by one. No. I'm not giving up yet, though. This is going to be hard because I can already tell that it's an obscure, uh, historical figure. Not obscure, but of the blank dynasty. Let me reveal this. Ptolemaic dynasty. Ptolemaic dynasty. Interesting thing. I wonder if what does that even mean? So it'd be an Egyptian person, an Egyptian, like a pharaoh, maybe, like. Yeah, that doesn't fit. Tutankhamun doesn't fit. Cleopatra, does the Cleopatra fit? Cleopatra does fit. All right, so we didn't do too bad. Yeah, Egyptian queen. A Ptolemaic indicates that it's Egyptian, and you can see it was a historical figure. All right, moving along. The results were, we did well, but most of the people got it eventually. Cleopatra. It's basically, yeah, you can guess as many times as you want. All right, moving on to the next game, which is the tightrope trivia quiz. It's a timed trivia quiz. Today is the hardest one. I do not expect to cross this one. These questions get crazy hard. And you have a limited amount of time, but the time is not the issue. I'm not even going to get them right. We'll have fun doing it. I like hard trivia anyway. It's fine. Ancient India was a Victorian game called Kismet. Oh my goodness. Process of elimination? That was lucky. It was not chess. Okay, I knew this is between Mars and Jupiter is where the asteroid belt is. Science stuff I should be able to get. I think. I do have a degree. Barbed hairs methods killing small mammals. Tarantula? Okay. Must have known that or guessed it pretty well. These are hard. Fill in the blank. Amanda quickly grew tired of the blank spam phone calls. Incessant. None of those would fit in there. Let's see. The inspiration for this girl appearing is a masterpiece by which artist? It's Vermeer. That girl with the pearl appearing is a Vermeer. I think I kind of know the art ones fairly well. Which is the first title with the Tsar? Tsar was it Nicholas the Second or Peter the Great? I think it's Peter the Great. It was Ivan the Terrible. It wasn't either one of those. Okay, that was a hard one. I should have got that, except I wasn't even close. Which ocean is the smallest? The Arctic Ocean? Those are all big. Excuse me. A pacifist whose name awards an Animal Peace Prize Alpha by inventing what? Dynamite. If you don't know that, you don't know that. I'm not sure I call that trivia or historical education. That's trivia. And the type of fizz is between the beverage company behind what drink? Fizz. Of those, I think LaCroix is always the only one that's fizzy. We did really well. I'm surprised that we got 8 out of 9. Last time on the Sunday quiz, we got 6, I think. So I consider that a win for the Sunday quiz. What do we got? Tightrope Boss. Good enough. Good enough for government work. Okay, we got some more brain games. It's the Octurtle. It's 8 5-letter word games at the same time. And we're going to do 2 of these. This is the warm-up. And then we're going to do the rescue, which is the hard one. I like the hard one because I don't get it about half the time. This I'll get it all. I always get this one because we got plenty of guesses. All right, so I use my 3 standard starting words. We're looking for ones like on the lower right hand. You see, I've seen this pattern many times before, so I automatically know what that is. Okay, here we only have 1, 2, 3 out of 4 there, 2 out of 4 or 5. That's terrible. But it could be tooth, right? Right, could be tooth. So let's just grab it. Even if there's 2, sometimes it's obvious what it is. Okay, this one here is probably ATCH. Let's try watch. WATCH. I think it could be something else. And it was watch. All right. This one here starts with a TA and has an L. It could be tally or talkie. TALKY. Oof. Let's do tally. I bet it was talkie. Oh, it was tally. All right. We're doing well. We got a couple more guesses here to get all 8 of these. And then we're going to do the rescue, which is another 8. And then it'll be music time. But, plenty of streaming time left. I'm going to go for at least another hour. I'm having a good old time streaming to my little audiences. Or, hey, people watch me on the VOD. It's okay. This one, all it has we know is an R. But it could be, we have G, so it could be like forge, right? It could be forge, for example. Oof, wasn't forge. But it could also be gorge, right? What else could it be? Yeah, it's got to, the only other thing it could be is gorge. That's fine. We got some extra guesses. Gorge. Gorge, right? Okay. Okay, what do we got down here? We got 3 more to go. They're all on the left side here. This one here, there's an N. We know what the N is. It could be Eaton, right? EATEN. And then we got this one here is, okay, we know where the N is. There's something NOL. I think it's Knoll, KNOLL. And let's move along. Okay, the last one. 2 guesses to get the last one. Then we're going to do the rescue, which is the hard one. Trust me, I do these every day, which is why I get them pretty quickly. All right, I think, okay, the T is either in 2 or 5. And then there's an R. And the R is either in 1 or 5. So it could be S, and there's an S. So it could be STEER, couldn't it? Steer. Okay, we went, but we're not done yet. We got the one final game to go, the rescue, the big brain games. It's called a rescue because you don't get to use your starting words if you have them. It picks 4 starting words at random. But like for example, sometimes it gives you things that are obvious. Like this upper right one can only be genre. So we'll just grab that, and then there'll be ones we have basically no clues for. This was fairly good, the 4 starting words, but you got to be real careful. Let's see, B, E, and then and another E, probably in position 4. But what would it be? It doesn't have an L in it. Could be Beech, right? Could be beach, Bee, and then C and H are available. All right, it wasn't beach, but I was right about the B, where the E is. It could be B. Beefy, because the F and Y are available. Let's not worry about that quite yet, though. It could be beefy. Let's see if we have any of these that we can get. We know there's an O on this side and an E on that side. It could be detox. It wasn't. Oh, couldn't have been detox. The other way around. Shoot. That was a wasted guess. Oi, I guess my brain's not functioning that well today. May I need more Diet Coke? I said O on the left and E on the right. I knew that. Dang. I'll have to come back to this. Yeah, we're not winning today's. At least we know there's a V in this one. And the T is, oh gosh. I'm already losing my okay, this one has got to be good here. There's an I and a T and an H to place. T-H-I something E, right? It could be thigh. T-H. It can't be time because you have to have an I in it. I can't find another consonant that's going to fit in there. So it's not T-H-I something E. It could be I-T. No, it can't be I-T-H-E. Huh. It could be T-I... Then there's an H to place. And there's an E. All right, I'm going to try another word. Spite. S-P-I-T-E. It does fit. Yeah, all right. It might be spite. Dang, we're doing terrible today. Wow. It could have been a bunch of things. It could be quite, Q-U-I-T-E. I'm just going to finish this up, just do our last few guesses here. This is going to be, at least with this one, on the right, Snoop. Has to be Snoop. We'll get one. This could have a U. No, can't have a U in it now. It could be in Smite. No, it can't be Smite. I wonder what it is. I'll figure it out later. This one here, B-E-E. I still think it's beefy. Let's try it. B-E-E-F-Y. It was beefy. That's fine. We got 2 more guesses, but we can't get anywhere near win this one. We had some challenges on this one today. That's why I like it. This one here can't be, okay? F-O-U-N-D, F-O-U-N-D. Kind of has to be. We have 1 guess left. Let's get this one here. And this one has got to be, oh, right, there's an H in it, which I never took into account. So it's simply white. Well, we didn't finish this today. We were not close at all. Totem, Wield, and Vista. Oh my god, I got my ass kicked by this game. I only get them about 50% of the time. I have won it before. I mean, you could see I play it every day, so you can see I win a little more than 50% of them, I think. All right. Well, you know what that means? It's piano time. Give me a few minutes to run my mid-roll. Drag my piano in and set down right here. Because I feel like playing the piano for a while. And it's typically might as well just keep broadcasting. Moving over to the music category here. From just chatting. Musical category here. There we go. All right, give me a second. I got a couple minutes. right, let me get set up here. Give me a second here. Still getting my camera and everything. Takes me all that takes me that entire time to. I had my reverb on the whole time. That entire time to. Use my kind of in front of my face here. That's good, perfect, because it knows how far away I am, and it compensates for me getting closer to and farther away. It's pretty cool. All right, this is kind of actually. There you go. All right, things working. Audio, we're in the quick category. I'm gonna do a little warm up. Anyway, welcome to Ken's Lounge. I got my list of songs here that I can play. All right. Yeah. Jeez. I don't have other music or notes or anything or words in front of me. I got some Diet Coke and I got a list of songs. You got to be able to sit down in front of a piano and play. Which is fine, except I got to play these songs a lot or I'll forget them, memorize. This is one of my standards. It's called Say a Little Prayer. But it's Burt Bacharach. It's not my standard. So yeah, speaking of Leah, fantastic singer, by the way. I hope she comes, of course. I think she will. To TwitchCon. So I suggested 2 songs that her and I could do as a duet. So I'm not for her to sing. Fantastic. I can't sing. She can sing. And the 2 songs I suggested to her were "Stay" by Rihanna and "Drops of Jupiter" by Train. So I've been practicing both, kind of off the stream here. But I'm going to play both of them just as kind of a warm up because I'm trying to keep them warm. In my head here. So this is "Stay" by Rihanna. I'm not going to sing it. I cannot sing either of these songs. They're just out of my range. But they're still pretty songs by themselves. And the other one drops duped by train, goes like this. Great song, Drops of Jupiter by Train. This is just my regular songs now. music from the good old Lounge Jack list. I'll get it right someday. It's the hard part. I was distracted. I wasn't. Just not concentrating. Do 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 do, girl from Ipanema. Just a few more songs for you guys and wrap it up. Had a long stream today already, though. You're just gonna play like some of the songs and feel like playing, a particular order here. Gonna sing a song. Hopefully I can sing. We'll find out. It's a song by Johnny Nash. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind, and it's gonna be a bright, a sunshiny day. Yes, I can make it now, the rain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is the rainbow I've been praying for, and it's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue sky. And I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind, and it's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. And it's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. I'm about my voice today. I need a little recovery day, I think, for voice. I sang a lot yesterday. I sing more, the guitar sessions are more for singers. Vince Guaraldi pair of songs there from the Peanuts Ovura. All right, here's one more Steely Dan song, right? Way back when in 67 I was the dandy Yamakai. Sweet things from Boston, so young and willing. Moved down to Scarsdale, where the hell am I? Hey 19, no we can't dance together. No we can't talk at all. Please take me along when you slide on down. Hey 19, that's Aretha Franklin. She don't remember the Queen of Soul. It's hard times we're falling, it's all survivors. She thinks I'm crazy, but I'm just growing old. Hey 19, no we can't dance together. No we can't talk at all. Please take me along when you slide on down. Cuervo Gold, the fine Colombian, make tonight a wonderful thing. The Cuervo Gold, the fine Colombian, make tonight a wonderful thing. The Cuervo Gold, the fine Colombian, make tonight a wonderful thing. Hey 19, no we can't dance together. No we can't talk at all. Please take me along when you slide on down. Alrighty, that's it for the musical segment, which means that's basically it for the whole thing. The whole darn show. It's another one in the can. Roughly the same quality level as everyone that came previously, which is a mediocre level. That's all we aim for here. I gotta say that, man, a whole bunch of things did not come off like I hoped, like being able to do that whole 787 thing. Maybe, I don't know what, just because I was getting like 3 or less frames per second for almost the entire set part of that. Then when I flew around Leipzig in that little plane, you know, that little gyro, nope, you know, everything was 80 frames per second or more. It's amazing how the plane seems to suck up all the resources. The plane itself. Anyway, it is what it is. I still had a great time. I had such a great time. We're going to do a whole thing tomorrow. Now, tomorrow will be a Monday stream. I'm working from home tomorrow. But I still will be able to take a break from work at the normal time, but a shorter break, to fly around a bit first half stream, do some brain games, and then drink some Diet Coke, and also have a musical segment, which tomorrow will be back to the fancy cheap guitar. This one right here. I'm still pretty impressed with my fancy cheap guitar from Leo James, whoever that dude is in China. I don't know where they make this. I still don't really know for sure where these are manufactured. It says PRC on the box, but I don't. It should say China if it's made in China. PRC seems very suspect to me. Personally, think they're made in Vietnam, Cambodia, or Laos. Personally, not China. But that's fine. It's a very well appointed guitar, and it plays pretty. I got it set up pretty well now after working on it for quite a bit. All right, so that's going to be it for the thing. We're going to play the outro, but again, stay tuned for more Kenshin 909er broadcasts to occur on the regular. For example, tomorrow, not Tuesday. That is the day that starts with you. Monday or Wednesday, sure. Thursday, working. Friday, okay, let's move on. Saturday, Sunday, yeah, you get the picture. It's very regular, 5 days a week. All right, see you guys next time, which is tomorrow.